Hello, welcome back to the European Youth Cup here for the Youth A final. We have had the juniors and we have a pretty special guest which could give us a little bit of a beautiful time. Hello, das ist Lea Kempf, which won just the juniors final.
Yes, I'm really happy that I could win in my last ever Youth European Cup. The boulders were really cool and yeah, but maybe a bit too easy. So I think all the girls up to the 7th place made all the boulders, and it was only selected by attempts.
You said that I don't know, maybe the boulders were a little bit easy, but like still you managed to do it faster than anybody else. So that's not to take some credit from your efforts. Which was your favorite boulder of the whole round?
I think the third boulder was the toe catch with the jump afterwards. I needed the most attempts for this boulder, but it was really funny.
Yeah, it looked like a really tricky start with the toe hook and then like a blind top.
Yes.
Are you quite happy then on coordination moves? Is this something you really like?
Yeah, I really like coordination moves.
Yeah, and you have had a really good season so far, 2023 speaks. Tell us maybe a little bit of how Sode and Caval were going through.
The first one was in Sur in Portugal. There I managed to, I was third after qualis and also after finals. And then exactly 1 week after that we had also a European Youth Cup in Kaunas. And there I got second.
Yeah.
And then 1 week later, so now, in Graz, I could win, so it was...
That's a really perfect progression, 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah.
Is there anything you have been preparing on trainings or have you been adapting to this, the whole... Because it's a really perfect progression, as we would say always. Podium, but the constant better.
Yeah, the last weeks I didn't have so much time for training because there always comes and then I needed time to rest, and but we always made videos and analyzed the videos, and we looked what we can make better.
Yeah.
We can improve in this 1 or 2 sessions we had between the comps.
Yeah. Is this something you guys do a lot in the team, to analyze movement and analyze how you move on the boulders?
In the trainings normally not so much. I think it would be better if we do that more, but in the comps always. Yeah.
Okay. And there's a championships coming forwards. Are you looking forward to that?
Yeah, really. It's in Duisburg in Germany. I think in a month or so. And I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It was really nice to see you perform really well in this competition. We're really looking forward to see you in a month in Germany. And thanks a lot for your time. Again, congratulations. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
And that was Lea Kempf from Austria, the actual winner from the 2023 Graz European Cup. We're going to be surely and shortly starting. There is a route setter which is going to join us, a local route setter from the BLOC house, and surely he will be starting with us. The athletes have had the 8 minutes of observation, and we will start briefly. We could not see the presentation. We apologize for that. And we're starting now. I'm delighted to have here Jakob Christopher. Hello, Jakob.
Hello, David. It's a pleasure to be here.
We have had 2 really cool rounds. Yesterday was the Youth B and today was the Juniors. And now we're starting again. Are they exactly the same boulders?
So the boulders are not exactly the same. We did adjust them a little bit based on what we saw on the previous round. So the female boulders are maybe a tiny bit harder, and the boulders for the guys are a tiny bit easier.
Yeah, it was still quite a good split on the men's side. On the female side, we would have maybe expected a little bit harder, but still, I think many athletes were really happy to be able to top many boulders, and still the split was achieved through attempts. So yeah, hopefully we're going to be able to see this little tune-up here in the finals for the Unit A. Maybe you can run us a little bit through this first boulder of the female.
Yes, so the first boulder for the females is a technical slab with this distinct step through, which the Slovenian athlete is now trying to do. And then the top section is also quite balancy because the right foothold is screwed onto a no texture plate, so you need to be really precise. But she does it very well, actually.
Yes, and that's Lana Goric. Oh my gosh, she just flew from the top. That was completely unexpected. Yeah, that proves to say that the top is not so easy.
Yes, exactly, because as I said, the right foothold doesn't feel so secure and you need to be focused until the very end.
Yep. You're a national route setter. I believe, if I'm not wrong, this is your first IFSC official competition setting?
Yes, that's correct.
And how has been the whole process? Is it a new step? Is it a new era for you?
Yeah, to be honest, we have quite a high level at setting also at the national comps in Austria. So it was maybe not too different, but of course it's an honor to have athletes from all over Europe coming to Blockhouse, and it adds even more excitement to the setting process for sure.
Yes, really cool to see. Also, you're setting regularly in Blockhouse, so I guess this is a quite nice start as an environmental, friendly environmental, something that you already know, the walls, the people. Yeah, let's go through boulder number 1 on the men. Did you guys change anything of this boulder?
Yes, I think one hold was actually removed, but to be honest, I'm not too sure because I was more in charge for the girls round. So yeah, I was not focusing so much.
And let's see if we can see a little bit again this step through that Jakob was describing, really delicate.
Yeah, now she looks a bit more comfortable. Let's hope she can match. Oh.
And again, we were talking actually with Dennis, because you're from actually different parts of the world. English was kind of the language they used. Was it sometimes difficult to communicate with everybody, or?
Yes, that's true. English was the main language, and sometimes it is a bit hard to always communicate in English when you're used to speaking German. But I think overall we did a good job.
Is this going to be a tricky round or more a physical round?
I hope it's going to be a nice mixture.
Yeah, I hope so too. Cool. So. 2 minutes 30 to go, and that's the British athlete Isabella Bridgens from Great Britain.
Yes, the Brits have quite a lot of really strong athletes, and it's really cool to see how they are pushing their young guns on this competition.
Yeah, actually a lot of qualified for this. In every single round we had a British athlete at least. Looking really good. Also a lot of athletes from Israel, I believe, were quite a strong field.
That's right, yeah.
And on the first boulder from the men's round, we have Lukas Makrolutsky from the Czech Republic. He was 4th in Slovenia this year, looking very strong. Yeah, we have seen actually loads of athletes going for the first man. They were going with the left across, they were going like ball flicking. Not many people did the method that Dennis was expecting, I think, but it still worked really, really well and really, really cool. And I actually asked him if they could step on this zone hold to stabilize, and yeah, Lucas almost managed to do it. Did any of you try to step so high up?
I don't know, to be honest, because as I said, I did not try this problem. We split the team a little bit in order to manage the workload, so my focus was not really on the men's slab.
And who of the team were actually focused for the female side?
I think it was Dirk, Dennis, David, and me. So we did change a bit in between the two groups or teams of setters, but yeah, for this pink one, I didn't try it.
And how's skin and energy levels going on?
Skin is surprisingly good on my side, and energy level was maybe not optimal in the morning especially, but now it's getting better after some coffee.
Yes, awesome. And now we're seeing the British athlete. Now we're going to see the first top. Inside flag, we just missed a little top from Lucas,
really
for
nice.
number one. And 1 minute still to go. And soon we're going to have the third athletes, Jonathan Katz from Israel, and from Slovenia, Tinka Raka. Those are the scores as it shows so far. Sorry. Now we have it. A top from Lucas on pole number one, and from Rafael Gruber we had the zone. And sure, we're gonna have the female, and that's the top from Isabella Bridgens from Great Britain and a zone from Slovenia. So already we're seeing a much better split on the field. On the units we had a lot of like tops in the first boulder. This proves that it was a really good decision chosen.
Yeah, I hope so. And maybe for people who are wondering, the changes we did were really minor. So that's the tricky thing about route setting. Sometimes you tweak one little chip a little bit and suddenly the boulder works perfectly fine and goes from being way too easy or way too hard to being perfect. And yeah, that's what makes it so challenging for us, but also very interesting.
Yeah, on the bottom of the screen we're actually seeing the first athletes which jump into the mats, going for the second boulder of the rotation. Maybe you can run us a little bit through the left boulder, the men's boulder, which Rafael is now trying.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting starting position, which is a bit uncomfortable. You feel like you cannot really move from the position. And then you need to transition to the big triangle to the right with the white holds.
Oh wow!
And yeah, he did really well now on this transition. And then the key is to bring your whole body to the right so that you can establish for the last move, which is a jump to a crimp.
We're sorry to cut it. We're now getting a top from Lana Goric from Slovenia, which just managed to stop the bando and did it. You were explaining us, sorry, the second boulder of the men. From the zone to the top, did you guys alter this hold? Because we saw many athletes flying off. Still, 2 athletes managed to top it.
Yes, that's correct. So I believe that the crimp is maybe slightly better now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And on the first boulder, Tinka Raka, Slovenian athlete. Jakob, you also were setting a lot for a Slovenian team, I believe. Anything that you can tell about them? What is the Slovenian secret?
I don't know if there is one single secret, but they definitely have a really strong team from youth B up to the adults, and yeah, I think maybe one of their strength is that they have a really good team spirit, and they all train together, usually in very small gyms, and they're just super psyched for climbing. So maybe that's the secret. I don't know.
Have fun is probably a key element into sports.
Yeah, for sure.
And we're seeing Jonathan Katz getting really close, but unfortunately dynamic top is probably not the way to go. That's not a hold that you can hold, I guess.
No, not really, I think.
Also the qualifying round has been a little bit different. It's a new kind of a format where you get 3 boulders, then you rest for 1 hour and then 3. But you also made videos. Are you a fan of this? Oh wow, top from Rafael Gruber, boulder number 2.
Yeah, very nicely done. About the videos, so first when I heard about the fact that the athletes will get videos of the qualifying boulders where they can see how we present the boulders to them, I was a bit skeptical, but to be honest, in the end I found the qualifying format pretty interesting, because the coaches are also allowed to actively support their athletes, so they can give them hints, they can give them beta, they can calm them down or cheer them up. And this creates a very intense dynamic between the coaches and the athletes, and that was a new side of the sport for me, because I've never seen that. And yeah, I think it's interesting, but I strongly believe that we should stick to this on-site format for finals, because the problem-solving component is also a vital part of climbing, or bouldering especially. So it would be a shame if this is lost completely. But for qualifiers, I think it's okay, and also it saves some time, which is very important, since we had so many starters, and at some point it just gets infeasible to do comps like that, because it's simply too many starters.
Yeah, actually I was speaking yesterday with Ilya, which is now boulder number 1 from the boulders, and he was not quite happy about it, because you have to climb and then maybe the round goes really well, but then you have to completely stop and you have to warm up again and be psyched again, mentally prepared for another hour of climbing. I mean, it becomes kind of a tactical game where you have to be forgetting how it went in the first round and then just going again, approaching it as it was completely for you. I guess it's quite mentally tiring.
Yes, I can believe so. But then on the other hand, I think the higher the level...
Sorry, I think we just saw Isabella Bridgens just flashing boulder number 2.
Really nicely done. Yeah, so I believe the higher the level, the more important the tactical aspects get. Another top.
Yeah, no, top from Lucas. And I think Jennifer Buckley just managed to secure the top on boulder number 1. That's on the upper right side of the screen. Ilya looking really strong. He joined onto the Hausmeisterschaft, the local competition here in Blockhaus. Climbs super well. I think we can see or expect a lot from this climb in the future. Also quite diverse in his styles. He can really do well kind of coordinated things. He can really pull hard. Also been since a young age a lot in Fontainebleau, so I guess. And now we're gonna see a really close up. There we see that hold, not a big hold in terms of a hold, and that's a top for Ilya Osberg, who just managed to secure top number 1. And remember that there is 4 minutes per boulder, and we cannot just skip, although there's no climbers on the mat. It would be unfair for the people taking a rest, which have to take this 4-minute break. The amount of boulders being topped is the highest rank, then it will be followed by the zones, and this gets filled by the attempts that it took to make a top, followed by the attempts that it took to make a zone. And there we have had previously the results. And jumping into the mats are going to come Lilia Briat from France, and on the men's side is going to be Gorac Jurekovic from Slovenia, who was third in Kaunas. Yeah, is the final round set a little bit harder, or in comparison to the qualifiers, is it easier? What is the difference for you mainly, Jakob?
Yeah, due to the new format with the videos, it doesn't really make sense to set something which is hard to read, for example, in qualifiers, because they get the videos anyway. So maybe in qualifiers it's more straightforward. It's a simple, not simple, but straightforward check of fitness and climbing ability. And in finals with the onside format, it's a lot more about problem solving. So we try to actively check this ability as well, besides all the physical aspects. And of course, in finals, it's also more about the show. So you try to make the boulders look nicely and also try to create some spectacular movements for the spectators.
Yes, let's see what the athletes can do for next rotation. I think we're going to see also the first athletes on boulder number 3. Was kind of a really cool move in my opinion. It's kind of like swing to the right. We see now a new hold being set. What's the purpose of this hold underneath? Because before there was no hold.
This hold makes it a bit easier to establish in the final position, because before you had to press above your head just against the volume, and now there is this hold, so it makes it a bit easier.
And that's Rafael Gruber looking really strong on boulder number 3, but unfortunately falls down.
Yes, it's big holds, but they're all facing the wrong direction, so that's what makes it hard.
Yeah, we also get a little bit of a glance of boulder number 3 on the female side. We're going to try to get a close-up. And there we are. Kind of a tricky start.
Exactly, this start is really tricky. You have to run from the mats onto this triangle volume, and then the right handhold is actually a jug, but the toe hook you need to kill the momentum is really shallow, so it's easy to miss.
And here we're seeing the French athlete, I think this Lilia Briat, trying to stick and control the top. A lot going on the mats, quite confusing. If you're watching, we're trying to actualize you with what's going on. We just managed to secure a top for Lilia Briat on boulder number 1. I think we're seeing kind of it was a good idea to tune up. We're seeing still tops, but a bit more tricky.
Yeah, so far it looks good. I think the athletes have to try hard, and not all of them do all the boulders, but then we do see tops. So from our perspective, it's good so far.
And are the boulders going to be staying onto the walls for anybody who wants to maybe try them, or they're going to be removed?
That's the plan, to leave them on the wall. So anyone who's wondering how hard these boulders really are and who is in the area can come to Blockhouse and try these boulders him or herself. So yeah, I think that's also a cool thing at Blockhouse when we have competitions, that we usually leave the boulders on the wall so that everyone can give them a try.
Yeah, very cool. And looks like Lana Goric is not quite managing the first start. Such a tricky start. I mean, it's quite hard to set something. I was talking to Dennis, where like with the toe hook, if you're a little bit bigger, you are standing so much further away. If you're short, you're stretched. What's your way to go to make it fair for everybody? I guess it's a tough question. Sorry to ask you, but
no, that's fine.
try
That's
to do
fine.
your best.
I think the key is testing a lot and also communicating well within the setting team, because every setter, of course, has different strengths and weaknesses, and the better the setters communicate, the more balanced the round can be. Yeah, and of course, if we feel that something is really reachy, then we try to adjust it, maybe add another foot option, or think about a completely different concept if it really doesn't work out to be fair.
Cool. That's a really good insight from Jakob. Hopefully anybody who's route setting can hear this, try to make it fair for everybody. And onto the mats, we're having actually one of the local heroes here is Katharina Bergman, which had a super awesome round yesterday. Proved to be a really competitive athlete, quite talented. Apart from one boulder that she didn't manage to do, pretty much everything was kind of a flash round. She was kind of on fire. And let's see what she can do with this first boulder. That's Katharina Bergman, the local climber from Graz, Team Blockhouse. And Isabella Bridgens from Great Britain, launching for the zone. There you are, 1-2. And Bojan Kirov from Bulgaria on boulder number 1. Just got an open wheel. We have Ilya on boulder number 2 on the very middle of the bottom screen. Not quite getting his way up. Temperatures are a little bit warmer than they were in the morning, but still quite okay. I mean, you guys have had some days of true heat coming around.
Yes, it was surprisingly hot, that's true.
Yeah, has anybody already been bleeding from the fingertips from testing?
I don't think so. I think we did a good job on the skin side.
And that's the first off for boulder number 3 from the men's run. That was Lukas Mokroluski.
Very well done.
The Czech Republic athlete. Really, really strong. Happy that we saw a top now on boulder number 3. There was no tops on the Eunice round. And yeah, pretty awesome fine tuning that you guys made, making this a little bit better. And Katharina Bergman. And the British athlete Isabella Bridgens has to go to this blind jump.
Yeah, it's really blind and also blocked, so you cannot see the hold. And then it's also blocked, so it requires you to be really quick and precise on the left hand.
I mean, that's the most mean thing you could do. The next thing would be that it would be dual texture all around.
Yeah, that's true, but you know, these girls are so good that we have to be a little bit mean, at least, to make them fall sometimes.
Yeah. And Katharina Bergman looking really strong. Can she release the right hand and stabilize? And unfortunately falls down. Big music being kicked. DJ and the athletes again on the mats. British athlete looking really good. Isabella Bridgens. This time now gets a top. Really happy with her performance. And Ilya, whoa, that was a pretty incredible fall. I hope that he's okay.
Yeah, he always goes all in. I remember a few months ago at the competition here at BLOC there was also a purple problem with a jump to a crimp. I don't know if you remember it.
I remember.
Yeah, and he also had some crazy falls on that one.
Some crazy falls, but I mean, if you recruit anybody normal, they would for sure get injured. And they are so used to falling in such awkward ways. It's like, yeah, pretty impressive that they're not getting injured. We're also seeing a first go at boulder number 4, the green boulder. Yeah, maybe you can run us through what changed, what was the plan?
So the 4th boulder, the black one for the girls, is supposed to be the power test piece. So it's quite physical in the upper body, but also in the fingers. The plan is to have this jump to the first better hold, and then some crimps and an insecure finish on a sloper. And yeah, the problem was overall a bit too easy in the previous round, so we just tweaked it a tiny bit. So in one hold moved a bit further away, and sloper on the head wall got also a bit worse.
Yeah, you also set this black problem, I guess. Looks like a really cool angle from here, like it was a climbing film, so to say. Kind of straightforward, but really, really cool to climb.
Yes, that was the idea, to also give them some proper climbing, whatever that means. But yeah, more climbing style, very well done now. And
so that was Ilana Goric top in boulder number 1.
Yeah.
It looked like a bit of hard to stabilize. Did you do anything to the boulder?
Sorry?
Did you do anything to the penultimate hold? It looked like it was harder to hold.
Yeah, exactly. We turned it a bit worse. Yeah.
And that's the split screen of getting all climbers on the mats. Choosing to rest. Green boulder is still proven to be kind of a fitness power test. Hopefully we're going to be able to see a top this time. Pretty much every single other boulder just seemed to work to perfection, to be honest. Exactly harder what it needs to be, a little bit easier what it needs to be. But yeah, I think we could be quite happy with this fine tunings. And a top from Thomas Lagmanet from France on boulder number 1. And that's Rafael Gruber not quite making it to the top. Still 1 minute to go. And you see in the middle of the bottom, I believe this is Lukas Mokrowski. Sorry, Gorac Jurekovic. And there's a top from Jonathan Katz from Israel, securing a top on boulder number 3. Just saw Rafael Gruber getting really, really close to the top, but I think that's going to be enough for him. And we will bring you the scores as they're showing up. There we see. So far we have a really good round again by the Czech team, Lukas Mokrowski, with 3 tops, followed by Rafael Gruber, with 1 top and 3 zones, and Thomas Malagna. And on the female side, we have on the first position Isabella Bridges with 3 tops. She didn't finish her rotation, followed by 2 Slovenians, Lana Goric and Jennifer Buckley. And back to the mats, because we're getting a new athlete from every single. The French, Quito Martini and Anna Polis from Austria. Wow, that was a pretty big spin from Lukas Mokrowski. And I believe that was a top from Kati Bergman on boulder number 2 on the very right lower side. And on the very upper part, we're getting a top from Tinka Raka. Sorry, from Jennifer Buckley. That was Jennifer Buckley, not Tinka Raka, on boulder number 3 on the female side. This is a close shot from Anna Bollius. What was the idea to stabilize the top?
There are actually 2 ways of stabilizing the top. So one way is as she did it now, with the high smear on the volume, and the second way is to stay on the lower foothold with your right foot and just lifting your left foot high, and then you can find a point of balance.
Cool, little insights from Jakob Christopher, local route setter from here, on this IFSC Youth Cup in Graz in Blockhaus. And let's see what Lukas Mokrowski from Czech Republic can do. He was 4th in Sode, and going for a big spin, and a top also for the French athlete Quito Martini. Uh, 10 athletes managed to qualify for the finals, and there's only 3 top positions. And we're seeing Ilya on boulder number 3. Let's see if we can get a closer shot from this lambada move. One minute to go. So for anybody who maybe wants to learn a little bit about the movement, how could you recommend to do such a movement, so to learn? Because this looks quite a complex movement.
Yeah, it's really complex, and I think a good way to learn movements like that is to start with some easier version that you feel comfortable trying, and then you can increase the difficulty by increasing the distance of the holds, or maybe choosing some worse holds. And actually in Blockhouse we have a lot of boulders in this style also on an easier level, so that's maybe a good way to try. Just come to Blockhouse to make some advertisement on this side.
Yeah, now we're seeing actually Ilya making it a better go. What do you think happened or changed in his last second? Falls out unfortunately, and rotation is going to be kicking off, but yeah, why did he manage to get to the point now?
Yeah, I think with these movements it's so much about getting them dialed, and the athletes train this a lot, so they actually train how to learn a movement. And with these really strong athletes you see this very frequently. They learn a move super quickly, so maybe at the first go they're not even close, and then within a few tries they just somehow understand how to move their body in order to make it work. And that's what we could see with Ilya right now, I think.
Yeah, I was super impressed actually. The third boulder from the female run by the juniors, I think it was a British athlete. At the beginning it seemed to be quite slow, quite tricky, and then second it was just like speed climbing. It was really, really crazy how fast they can learn it.
Yeah, that's true.
And just jumping into the mats, the penultimate athletes, those are from Switzerland, Coach Gilles and Samuel Richard from France. And let's see if we can get a bit of a closer on these last 2 boulders. Has to go for the blind jump. Can she do it? And unfortunately slips out of her hands. And a top on boulder number 2 from Martini Quito. Also Jennifer Buckley looking really strong on boulder number 4. So that was not Jennifer Buckley, that was Tinka Raka, I believe, from Slovenia. And Samuel Richard trying to get a top. And that was a top from the French athlete. And we just missed a top from Samuel Richard on boulder number 1 on the male side. A lot going on into the mats, kind of a hard to follow final. Are you more happily when there's only one climber on the mat, Jakob?
Yeah, I think it makes it easier to follow the action, but then on the other hand here it's nice because it hardly ever gets boring. There's so much happening, but you're right, it's really hard to see everything, and yeah, but we're trying.
Yeah, we're trying the best. Apologies if anybody's getting a little bit confused. Wow, looking really strong. That was Goraz Kureshkovic from, sorry, that was Jonathan Katz from Israel. Yeah, are you planning to set any of the competitions this year, Jakob?
You mean any further competitions?
Are you planning to set competitions here in Austria or in Slovenia or anywhere else?
I think I will set 2 more elite competitions in Austria now in the next weeks, and then I'll take a little break from setting, maybe not completely, but yeah, just a little bit of a time off to focus on my own climbing and relaxing.
Cool. And we're going to have the last athletes going onto the mats. There's going to be Martina Bursikova, which has had the perfect ever round for her. She was first in Kaunas last week, and 2 weeks ago she was first in Soda. So perfect for this Slovakian athlete. And on the mats, on the British side, we have Rhys Cullen, which was 10th in Soda this year, and hopefully he can get a better start on his Graz final here in Blockhouse. Now we're having Jennifer Buckley on the 4th boulder of her rotation. We just saw a top from Anna Bolus on boulder number 2. And then we see a bit of a closer shot. Katarina Bergman needs to jump to the top, this blind top. And the Slovakian Martina Bursikova. Oh wow, that's a method we didn't see. A high step and rocking over to the top. Is she going to try again? Almost latching it, but not quite making it. And Martina just has to step on this high volume. And does the foot swap, but as Jakob said, there's no texture, so it's quite hard to get a lot of tension onto this hold. Let's see if we can see Jennifer Buckley doing this really powerful boulder. And I think Ilya Ausberg is on the this boulder. So Jakob, what's your favorite boulder of the whole round?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Any bets on the winners? An easier question.
I don't bet. I think that. I think I really liked. I think it's number 2, the red one, for the girls, because the top move is quite exciting, I find, and we saw some super close tries on that one. So maybe that's my favorite.
Cool. Yeah. So far we didn't see anybody trying what Katarina was. Oh wow, that was a really fast top by Rees Conlon from Great Britain. We didn't see any athletes trying the method that Katarina Bergman was trying, which was to step really high and rock over. Do you guys consider this method?
On which boulder?
Third boulder from the female side.
You mean for the top move?
Yes, she was kind of stepping really high and doing a shoulder move.
Yeah, so actually I think one of the athletes in the junior category climbed the boulder like that, and then we moved this foothold even a bit further to make it harder, because our intended beta was to jump to the top hold.
We're seeing also Jennifer Buckley getting really close, but as the boulder got harder, unfortunately falling off the top. And that was a top from Katarina Bergman, which managed to do it. She's going to be really happy about that. I believe this is the first final from the European Cup for this young athlete. She's normally not on the national team, but being a local, the Austrian team is able to send some athletes as a compensation for being in the same land. So I think she's going to be quite chuffed about that. And as we're progressing, first boulders being left out. No more climbers will come. And I think Gorac Jurekovic is on boulder number 5. On boulder number 4, sorry, with the 5th athlete coming out. And Lucy Garlic from Great Britain. Really close. And I think we just managed to get a top from Thomas Legrame from France. A lot of athletes making fast progress. Oh, wow, latching and catching it. 100. That was Thomas Lemagne from France. Super strong. Second wasn't so there. Hopefully Hoyt today is going to be able to get a top. Let's see if we can get you the scores actualized, because there's so many things happening at the same time. And as we stand up on the female side, we have Jennifer Buckley with 3 tops and 4 zones. She finished her rotation, so she cannot do any better. We have Lilia Briat also with 3 tops and 4 zones, and Isabella Bridgens with also 3 tops and 4 zones. Split all of them between attempts. And on the male side, we have on leading the scoreboard Lukas Mokroluski with 3 tops and 4 zones, followed by Thomas Lemagne, which didn't finish the rotation, on 3 tops, and Kirov Boyan with also 3 tops. And you see here, I believe this is Lilia Briat on the 4th
I think so, yeah. It was quite interesting to see, because 2 of the Slovenian athletes climbed this boulder very, very well. So I got a bit worried that it might be even still too easy, but it seemed to be their style. But that happens quite often actually, that some athletes who maybe did not qualify in first position just crushes one of the final boulders, and then you wonder as a route setter, oh my god, maybe it's much too easy. But yeah, often it turns out fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we saw actually this, like you said, like maybe they're doing really well, but it was proved that it was not an easy boulder, by so to say, by any means.
Not easy for sure.
Let's see if Lili can get to top. Pretty flashy move, the first one, cutting loose. Then going from the crims to these big slopers. That's a step higher again.
It's looking good now.
Needs to again step higher, foot swap, and unfortunately it doesn't hold the tension. And about a minute to go. No more climbers on the mats. They will see the young guns, future athletes, helping these holds. And we're gonna follow the rotation with Anna Bolus on the third boulder and Katharina Bergmann on the fourth boulder. Both Austrian athletes qualified quite well. On the fourth boulder we are gonna have Kira Boyan from Bulgaria and the Slovakian athlete Martina Vučíková on the second boulder. Going for this jump. Foot plant on the left, crosses to the right. There we see close up. It's going to be a top. Looked super easy by this Slovakian athlete. We're also seeing the French athlete Samuel Richard. And let's see what the British athlete can do on boulder number 2. Rhys Conlon topped boulder number 1. And if he wants to be in the game, he needs to be top in boulders. And Anna Bolus decides to resign and lay flat on the boulder. And Kati Bergmann from Austria, from Graz. Not quite holding the tension. I don't think this is a move that you want to do fast.
No, that's correct. I think it's better to try to go slowly. But yeah, for these athletes it's an on-site format, so they don't really know how the boulder is intended to be climbed. And there's also value in trying out different options.
There we see a top from Anna Bolus from Austria.
Went super close on the M3 for the boys here by the French athlete.
Yes, that was Samuel Richard flying off the top. So if you're wondering what tape is covering this hold, maybe Jakob, you can explain to everybody.
Yeah, the black tape is there because the hold actually sticks a bit out, so there's an edge that you could theoretically grab on top of the hold, and to prevent the athletes from doing that, we put the black tape there. It's actually something that we route setters like to do sometimes when we're running out of space. We just put the hold a bit higher, and that's feasible, but you need to cover the resulting edge with black tape. Yeah.
Yes. Would be really bad for the hands also to hold them to very sharp.
Yeah, super sharp.
Let's see if Katharina Bergmann can do better on this fourth boulder, last boulder, her rotation. There we see the really cool film looking angle as it was a climbing film. And Kira Boyan looking very strong, but not quite making it. We also saw before Conlon Rhys topping boulder number 2. So far it's pretty run for her. Feet can lose from Katharina Bergmann. Holding to the zone. Base time looking much better. Almost manages to stay on the wall. And last 3 seconds. And it's going to be unless. Unfortunately, it's going to be timed out. So now, on boulder number 3, we're going to have Gilles Couturier and Samuel Richard. And on boulder number 4, we're going to have Lucy Garlic and Thomas Lemacnair.
Yeah.
Feet could lose, awesome move.
And I believe Lucy has done all 3 boulders, so she stands a chance of climbing all 4 of them if she completes the black one now.
False score went to the shoulders. This is looking like a promising try on boulder number 4. Matches and secures the top.
Very well
She's
done.
going to be well chuffed about that.
So I believe she's the first athlete now, or the first athletes among the girls who has 4 tops.
Let's make sure, let's confirm with the scorecards from our team. And Jakob was mentioning only athletes with 4 tops, also like almost a perfect round, almost every single one being flashed. Second attempt and third one, but really good performance from her. Yes, there's some athletes to come out. There's 3 more athletes to make boulder number 4. So let's see what we can see about that. But for now, let's stay on boulder number 3 on this male side. That's that's Thomas Lemacnair.
Wow.
That was actually, we have seen 3 or 4 athletes going for this big cross. Is this something you guys expected?
Not really, to be honest, because I think it's really hard to establish in the final position.
Oh wow, that was Thomas Lemacnair on boulder number 4.
Looking good. There
and
it is.
The first stop of boulder number 4, finally.
So now I believe all boulders have been topped, am I right?
I think you're correct.
Yeah, that's also very nice from a route setter's point of view, because we don't want any boulder not to be climbed, of course. Because then it's
and actually it's a really good difference of scores, as we've seen. 1, 2, 3 were topped by Lucas, but 1, 2, 4 were topped by Thomas.
Yeah,
so
that's right. Yeah,
that's kind of a nice thing. Hopefully, the best one is going to be having all 4 tops.
Would be perfect.
And let's see what Samuel Richard can do on boulder number 3.
And here we see that the problem solving is coming in. It's not obvious how to do this top section.
Yeah, there's so many things. As I was actually asking Dennis, like 5 or 6 different moves. What are you doing in there?
Yeah, exactly. It's really hard to figure out how to do it, and then sometimes there's also the situation that you try something and it feels really close, and then you get stuck trying this over and over, and maybe it would be better to switch to another method. And that's usually also where experience is coming in, because the experienced athletes, they manage these situations maybe a bit more effectively. But overall, I have to say I'm amazed by the level of climbing, and also climbing ability, and also tactics by these young athletes, because we should not forget that these girls and guys are really young still. This is U18, so they're 16 and 17 years old, and it's quite amazing how smart they already climb for their age.
Yes, definitely very, very strong field here. I mean, the level is just being pushed the whole time, and thanks to guys like you who are pushing the sport, we're seeing a very young generation coming very, very strong.
Beautifully done on the third boulder for the girls.
And that is Martina Vursukova. Oh wow, that's the method that we thought that was not going to be topped, and somebody made it work. Easy flash for these athletes. Anna Boll is also looking really strong. Super strong from Anna Bollius, no problem for her. Well happy about that. Yeah, if you're tuning in, we are here in Blockhouse in Graz for the European Youth Cup. We have now the Youth A category, and now we are tuning in with Rhys Conlon on boulder number 3. So we have some technical issues, but we're back here in Graz with Jacob Grasdorfer, commenting for the European Youth Cup here in Blockhouse. And let's see what the French athlete Samuel Richard can do on boulder number 4.
Looking good so far. Ooh, close. Yeah, so we are coming closer to the end of this final, and now the medals will be decided.
Yeah, let's see, because the British athlete has had such a perfect round. Let's see if he can just manage to get the top on boulder number 3. Also going for the method of going really straight high up. And Samuel Richard going again.
And I just checked the results, and also with the guys we now have one athlete with 4 tops. It's Thomas Lemanier from France. Let's see if any other athlete can do 4 tops.
That's right, 4 tops on the female, 4 tops on the male. Pretty cool.
I just check, and if I'm not mistaken, I don't think that any other guy can complete all 4 boulders, but maybe I'm wrong.
We're having from Switzerland Gilles Cotteret and Samuel flying off the mat. Last boulders, last 4 athletes to be shown here in the 2023 IFSC Youth Cup before the World Championships, the Youth Cup Championships in Germany next month. so far better round than the the juniors final. A bit more split, not a little bit less stops. You happy with the round so far, Jacob?
Yes, I agree. I think this round was quite well balanced when it comes to difficulty and tops. So yeah, from our point of view, we are happy.
Yeah, also it was quite interesting because Dennis is quite a short climber. You have also people being really tall, like Dirk being like almost 2 meters. Has this been on your favor as tester?
Yeah, I think it's really good to have people with different body types in a setting team. It makes the testing process much easier because you can then see how the problem feels for a person that is really tall, for example, or a person that is really short, and that's for sure a benefit.
Good. Insights from Jacob. And still, I believe 1 minute and a half to go for the Swiss and the French athlete. So Jill is sitting now currently on 7th position, and I think she cannot make it anymore to the top 3 due to the amount of attempts that she already took. Maximum she could be now is 4th if she tops right now the boulder. And let's see what these 2 athletes can do. And Samuel would be able to jump into 1st position, I think, if he tops now or in the next 2nd attempts. And Jill looking really strong, and unfortunately falls down. Last beep of the minute. There we see again Samuel. I mean, it's such a hard boulder. There's not many attempts you can give, I guess.
That's true. It's so physical. So if you fall at the end, you have at most one more try at that one, yeah.
And a good shot. Really, really good shot again from this angle on the 4th female boulder. And these 2 athletes don't fancy anymore. I think they were wrecked. We're going to see now Reese Condon and Martina Bushikova on the last boulders, the last athletes to come out onto the mats. Let's see what we can do, Jacob.
Yeah, and I think for the guys we already have a winner, Thomas Lemanier, with 4 tops, because Reese did not do boulder number 3, but of course he will still try to do his best on this one.
Yes,
and for the girls, I believe it's for the gold medal now, if she can do it.
If she doesn't do it now, she will not be able to be on the 1st position. And if she does it, it would be 1st due to the scorecard on the qualifiers.
And she does it.
And she goes.
Nice.
And she delivers. And I believe there's going to be a 1st position, followed by Lucy Garlick and Anna Volumes. Let's get a check on that. And there's our actualized score, like we said, due to comeback, and also actually not due to comeback, but due to the attempts on the zones. She was able to flash every single zone, and that's why she is sitting higher than Lucy.
Yeah, that's true. And if they had the same number of zone attempts as well, then they would have been split by the qualification result, because we had luckily no ties in the qualification round. But of course it's nice to separate the athletes in the final round without any count back to the qualification round.
Yes.
So now there's only one athlete left on the mats. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, as we said, Riz gonna be first. I think he could be third maximum if he now tops. But very strong Thomas Lemagne, which managed to top every single boulder.
Yeah, for the boys, I think it's pretty much a perfect round from the route setting perspective, with one guy with 4 tops, and then one or two guys, depending if he can do it now, with 3 tops, and the rest has 2 or 1 top. So that's looking pretty good.
Pretty much perfect measured. I think there was a really good tuning. But also from the perspective of the audience, I think they have been seeing many tops. It was like not over topped, but like I think it was quite interesting for everybody to see.
Yeah, that's good to hear. I already experienced comps with a setting that was too hard, and in my opinion it's maybe the worst thing that can happen, apart from being much too easy, because then the athletes cannot really show what they're able to do and nothing happens basically.
Yeah, if you're watching on the other side, let us know what you prefer, and if it was interesting for you to see this setting. They did the best they could, and it was kind of a nice competition. Really diverse, lots of things being proved here by the climbers. Trying a new method, that was something new to see. And jumping to the last minute. Last try for this athlete from Britain. And last second. And that was the end. It's over.
Yeah, hard to believe.
We'll see at the actualized score for the men. And there you are. So, as Jakob was saying, perfect result. I mean, French again dominates quite a lot of the whole scoreboard.
Yeah, they have an impressive team for sure.
But looking really good. Jakob, thanks a lot for your time, for your insights, for your job. Awesome qualifiers, awesome finals. Yeah, we're looking forward to have you again here.
Yeah, thank you for having me, and until next time.
Bye. And if you want to tune in with the flower ceremony, we're gonna have a little break for like about 15 seconds. 10 minutes until everything is being set, and then we will be live showing the flower ceremony. We want to still thanks to all the partners and all the sponsors. We're here in Blockhaus. I want to thank to Austria Climbing, to IFSC, Bergfuchs, Wienerstädtische, Graz, das Land Steiermark, Graz Region, Alpenverein, Kleine Zeitung, and Soundportal. Without them, this competition would not be possible. Without all the volunteers and everybody here, it would also not be possible. Thanks to everybody, and if you want to see the flower ceremony, it's going to be live shown very soon. We just need to set it up in 10 minutes. We're going to see and hear the anthem from the winners, and yeah, show the winners again. Thanks a lot, and have a nice time. We'll see you till next time. That was the 2023 European Youth Cup here in Graz in Blockhaus. My name is David Preston, and thanks to everybody who contributed and made this competition possible. We'll see you in the next one.
awarding ceremonies. Okay, so the first awarding ceremony of today, the female athletes of the juniors category, please all come inside. On third place, Louise Flockhart. Congratulations, Louise. Big applause. Here also for the medals. And on second position, Emma Shivers. And the strongest female athlete of the juniors, Leah. Dankeschön auch an den Bergfuchs für Chalkbacks Rucksäcke und die Wiener Städtische für die Preise sowie Faserbrushes. Once again, a big applause for the three strongest female athletes on the juniors category. Moving on to the boys, on third position, Julian Weber. And on second place, Guillermo Bailado Fraganillo. Congratulations. And on first position, Etienne Abria. And now please rise for the French national anthem. now please raise for the national anthem of Slovakia. Moving on with the three strongest male athletes. On third position, Samuel Rija from France. And on second position, Lukas Mogronowski. And the strongest of the Youth A male category, Thomas Lemania. Congratulations! And now please raise for the national anthem of France. Big applause once again for the podium of the Youth male category. Thank you all, and my big apologies for the mistakes we just made. I hope you all have safe travels and go back home safely. We enjoyed it very, very much. This competition, this European Youth Cup. Thank you all. Thanks all the volunteers, all the Blockhouse crew, Board of Blockhouse, Stefan Czerna, all the other names, all our sponsors, Wiener Städtische, Bergfuchs, Radios, Soundportal,